Skip top.
And we're rolling.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, everyone?
Coming at you from good old Phoenix, Arizona.
Don't dox us.
Glendale, technically. Oh, I guess I should have said that if we're worried about being doxxed, you know.
You know, but the Phoenix, though, it's like if you live close to Phoenix, it's Phoenix.
Yeah,
that's the
we're
thing.
in the Phoenix metro area.
This area.
Yeah.
So
all right, guys.
come over sometime.
All right. So this is, what are we doing today? Another episode of 3 Hacks in a Movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's our name.
Mm-hmm. That's
No,
the
wear
working
it out,
title.
actually. You know, wear it out. Everyone should be saying it all
And
the
you
time.
know, we could always change the name in the future. I was thinking of like maybe changing it to the White Lives Matter podcast.
I like it.
I think that'd be pretty good. But
all right.
But for now,
we're
3 hacks in a movie.
Yeah.
The No More Terry Gilliam movie podcast.
We pretty much great. This is the bottom of the barrel right here. The bottom of the Fisher King barrel.
It's not even the barrel, bro.
This is the best thing from the barrel.
Yeah, this isn't even the bottom of the barrel.
To us, RJ, but definitely not to Bentley.
It doesn't even deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence as barrels.
Yeah. Bentley probably thinks that Terry's ashamed of this movie or something.
No, it's his most dramatic, like earnest movie that he's made.
That Ernest felt very natural. I think you kind of realized you're like, oh my god, I'm already saying it.
It's already coming out.
Yeah.
But Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges.
All right, wait. So what do we? So today's pick was Bentley's.
Mm-hmm.
Bentley, what did you choose today?
Today, I'm Bentley. I chose The Fisher King with Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges, movie directed by Terry Gilliam.
2 fantastic actors.
Yeah, they're very, very good in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
some of my favorites for sure.
this came out in 91, and I feel like Robin Williams, like, this must have been the kind of a fresh, like, little drama role for him because he was more of a comedic guy before.
So way before Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
Because Lebowski was like, I think RJ said like 97 or something like that.
Yeah, it was later 90s.
I was thinking about it because obviously Robin Williams was very known to do go really back and forth on comedy and drama. So I don't know what dramatic things he did.
This was right after Awakenings.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's a serious one.
Dead Poet
Yeah.
Society. That's not a comedy.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right.
Really, yeah. Okay, so yeah, he already had a few or a couple, I guess, serious roles before this.
And his acting, dude, he's like, he has such a, I guess you could say sadness to his acting sometimes. Like, you can just see in his face that,
Robin?
like, he's just very deep. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, even though he's kind of, like, clownish sometimes and laughing.
Right.
But
I mean, he's such a natural jester for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something to be said that comedy always has, comedy usually comes from like a dark place.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude.
And that's why, and I think that is why comedic actors make the best dramatic actors, and that's why that's why I think they would always comedic actors. I think is always more impressive than dramatic actors because I think it's not easier to make someone cry than laugh, but in storytelling and movies, I think it's a lot easier to write a sad movie than it is a funny movie.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I always give it up to comedic actors more than I will serious actors.
The thing with this movie is I think it's a good mixture of funny and sad.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's a good mixture of a lot of things. There's a lot to chew on in this movie. Like, you get religion, relationships, you get homelessness, you get
We really see New York in the early
New York?
90s.
Yeah, there you
dude.
go.
Everything about that was that seems like New York to me, except for, no, there was some pretty heinous crime in this, so never mind. But
with the bum fights.
it's not even bum fights,
Yeah,
murders,
beating,
dude.
basically, yeah.
Dude, they were gonna murder him.
That's what one used to do back in the day, you know? If there weren't any gays around to beat up, you find the homeless guy, and beat him up.
Yeah, beating up a homeless guy, that was definitely a rich person thing. And I'm guessing that's what, those kids, I don't know why seemed rich. They just drove in a Jeep, and that's obviously not a very rich car, but something about their clothes and their just everything else. So it seems like such a rich kid. So yeah. But this movie, man, jeez. All right,
I
Billy.
will say, fresh off watching it, it was my first time watching it. It was one of my favorite Jeff Bridges performances
Okay.
that I've seen because I feel like he kind of it deviated a lot from like most people think of like the dude from The Big Lebowski, but
Sure.
he definitely brings some like real chops, some realness to this character. There's a few like crying moments that he does. So if you like Jeff Bridges and you haven't seen The Fisher King, I'd say pretty quintessential.
Fix that. Yeah, absolutely.
He's
Yeah,
good.
it's worth the watch.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've seen a few Jeff Bridges movies, but not. I don't know if I can even say I've seen a lot of Jeff Bridges movies. But I mean, I've seen Lebowski.
Yeah,
Obviously, like that's a big one. I watched True Grit once when I was younger. I had to watch it again though.
Yeah, he was pretty good in that, but I
Yeah.
feel like Haley Steinfeld like stole the show in that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't think off the top of my head right now of other
I know.
movies
Why
he's
am I
in, but
blanking on Jeff Bridges movies?
Right. Well,
now?
he was in the last picture show. That was like one of his first big roles.
Mm.
I never watched
Never
that one.
seen it, yeah.
And then I remember when I was a kid, I watched Starman, which is a
sounds
John
familiar.
Carpenter movie.
okay.
They used to play it on Disney Channel every now and then.
It's an alien that comes onto Earth, I guess.
Yeah, he is
And
the Starman.
the
He
titular
is.
Starman. But yeah, the Robin Williams is pretty funny in this movie. So
Yeah.
it starts off where Jeff Bridges is basically like a Howard Stern type of like shock DJ.
Right.
Right.
You see him in his like little booth doing his radio broadcast, and he's just like berating the woman that call in or whatever, and they're like asking
Men
for
too.
help, and he's just telling them to fuck off.
I mean, like
basically.
anyone who calls in,
Yeah.
he's gonna, yeah.
And I'm like, why are they calling into this show if they know he's just gonna tell them to fuck off? Like, do they think it's like Frasier and he's just gonna help them with their problems or whatever? Like,
I know, right? I was thinking, like, okay, you clearly know this guy. Obviously, you listen to him, and I was like, are you really surprised that, I don't know, that he just blows you off or he doesn't give you actually like any serious advice? Oh, he was in Surf's Up.
Jeff
Hell yeah,
Bridges,
dude, let's go. Yeah,
the Penguin movie.
the men who stare at goats. Okay, sorry, I just have to look real quick on.
No, you're good.
Like,
What's some earlier ones like 90s?
He was in Tron in the 80s, but yeah, in the
Okay.
90s.
right, yeah.
I mean, the Fisher King seems to be the biggest one other than Lebowski.
Heaven's Gate. I feel like I've heard of this one before. Besides The Cult, I think this is.
You're right. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard a lot about this movie before. Epic Western. Chris
One of the
Christopherson,
worst,
Christopher Walken,
one of the
John
worst
Hurt,
films ever made. Apparently,
Sam Waterston. Oh wait, where does it
More
say
of a
that?
supporting actor.
Where'd you see that? It was subsequently condemned as one of the worst films ever made at the time, according to some film historians such as Peter Biskin. I don't know who that is. Blah, 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 German film production of the American series. Okay.
It's not Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, right.
earned a 3.5 against a 44 million budget.
Oof. Damn. It was crazy. Well, because I was looking at the names, I was like, okay, Sam Waterston, I know him. John Hurt, Christopher Walken, Chris Christopherson. Pretty stacked cast. So that must have really hurt for that one to flop.
Yeah, this might be something that put Jeff Bridges on the map for a lot of people because he's definitely a standout performance. And yeah, he's a shock DJ, and basically he's just living his life. So he's like top of the charts or whatever in radio.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah, you
Number
see,
one in ratings.
Yeah, you see his like penthouse, or he like
Right,
lives in a
yeah.
penthouse, bro, like literally looking over New York City. So, you know,
Right.
for a fucking DJ, even then, that's still pretty impressive.
like imagine the best life you could live in New York City. He's living it pretty much.
Yeah.
And then one day, I guess like a crazy guy who's like a fan of the show is like incentivized for some reason to like shoot a bunch of people in a bar.
Well, something
And
about that, he called in and then Jeff Bridges' character just kind of blew him off, I guess, or
Right,
just kind
right.
of gave him some whatever advice or told him to get over it. And that was like the final straw, I guess.
Set this guy over and just shot everybody in the bar, I guess.
Yeah, goes to a bar, blast. I think it said he killed 7 people before he turned the shotgun on himself and fucking blew his own head off.
And yeah, like that's like the first like 5-10 minutes of the movie, right off the bat.
yeah,
Pretty much Jeff Bridges' career is like donezo after that.
Yeah, well, he sees it and he just can't believe it, and he obviously blames himself. He thinks that he had a huge part in it. So we get a time jump to 3 years later, and he's working at a video store that his girlfriend owns. Apparently,
Pretty cool, like fucking video store.
Yeah.
I would definitely walk in that place if I was
Oh,
walking
for
past.
sure,
There's like
yeah.
light bulbs on the sign, and it's like he's doing pretty good.
yeah,
I
that
would
was a cool
say.
video store. Yeah, for sure. When I was a kid, I always wanted to work at a video store. I remember that. I
Right.
always wanted to work at a video store or a Blockbuster, but by the time I was in high school, those were already dead.
Yeah.
Dying or whatever.
This is the '90s, so it's all literally like VHS tape.
Yeah. That girl was like, I don't even have a VCR. I was like, bro, who doesn't have a VCR? Like, oh, right, yeah. Like,
Dude, they're like-
not everyone had a VCR in the
They were like
early 90s.
$2,000 back then too. Like they're so fucking expensive for a VCR.
Early 90s?
By the early
maybe
90s,
those-
they were more affordable. For
Yeah,
sure.
they're like
Yeah,
a few hundred bucks.
bucks.
Yeah, like a few $100 for sure. Yeah, because I was like, my parents had one, and they
Right,
definitely
right.
weren't spending thousands of dollars on a fucking thing that played movies that they can't even watch because they don't speak English. So yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, so Jeff Bridges, he basically blames himself. It's not like his
No,
career
if-
was like fully over. He just needed to step away because
Yeah, like flash forward is just like 3 years. Like
it was 3 years.
yeah, you miss a lot of like what could have happened in that 3 years. But
Yeah, but you can kind of guess how he's been spending those 3 years. Because I mean, he was basically, we see him drunk the entire time after the time jump until he meets Perry. But
he gets so
yeah.
drunk that he basically looks like a bum, like to the people walking in New
like
York City.
like the torn trench coat and just kind of like dirty clothes or whatever. But yeah, so he's working at his girlfriend's video store. He's a drunk. He's upset. Just not a good person to be around. And shout out to her for really sticking it out during his worst time, man. That was crazy. I can't believe she really did that. But says a lot about her character.
And they're a good relationship, Jeff Bridges, and it's his like
Anne was the
is
character.
his assistant, I guess.
Wait, what?
Like what was her relationship to him originally? Like business associate, I guess, or like
So I was
producer.
yeah,
or-
okay. So that first girl
assistant?
that we see in the penthouse, I couldn't even remember if that was actually her or was that somebody else.
No, that was someone else.
That was someone else, right? Yeah, I
Mhm.
thought so. But yeah, man. So Jeff Bridges, he's drunk. He goes out. He looks like a homeless man, and he basically almost gets murdered by these two fucking American psychos.
driving
Literally
a
going
jeep.
to set him on fire.
Pour
They had
gasoline
they had
on him.
cans
Yeah,
of gasoline on him.
this giant writing of gasoline on the can.
Gasoline,
It's
rain
like-
gasoline.
Terry really made sure we understood that it was gasoline because there was like that shot where it was like behind the gas cans was so long, and then it kept going back to like, we get it, it's gasoline now. But yeah, so he's literally about to be murdered or whatever the term is for being set on
pouring it
fire.
all over him.
Yeah.
Immolated.
Oh, I have no idea. So then we have our hero, Robin Williams, show up. He goes by Perry. And he has like a makeshift bow and arrow. I don't even know what was on the end of that thing because it wasn't sharp, obviously. It was kind of like a ball. Or it was like a round object. He shoots it. He hits one of the perps like in the balls or something. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, it went kind of low.
A lot happens in this scene, I feel like.
Yeah, so like his aim was really good. Clearly, he's been practicing with this freaking thing, right?
He's like yelling some like "Be gone with thee!" vibe, like it's like talking like a medieval knight.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Exactly. He taught. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, just think of like any medieval fantasy novel, and that's what he talks like basically. He also had a makeshift shield using a trash can lid, which was pretty effective, apparently. And yeah, so Robin Williams saves him. He saves Jack from being burned alive again. And then I think they just it kind of cuts out, and he wakes up at Jack's place, right? I mean, not Jack's place, Perry's place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because he's so freaked out. He passes out.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
yeah.
he like passes out from the gas or something.
I don't know. I mean, a lot did happen, so I don't know. Whatever, right? But yeah, so he wakes up at Perry's place. He wakes up at Perry's place, and he kind of sees it's just kind of what you would think a homeless lair looks like when it's in a basement or
It's in a
underground
boiler room.
in a
It's
boiler
your
room.
typical
Yeah.
homeless lair that you would imagine. If you're imagining a homeless lair, that's it.
Yeah, there's just like trash everywhere. Some things are
Right.
kept very nice,
But it's very organized. Like
You think so?
he like goes like, oh, like I have a book filed under M or whatever. Like when he's looking for a book that he has, like he has a whole filing system.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's very run down for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, he lives in a boiler room. It's clearly a homeless person's lair, and Perry starts talking to him about what he's meant to do and why he's basically put on this earth. And he says that he's a knight, right? And he's been given the task of receiving the Holy Grail. And
Giving us that plot device.
what?
Giving us that plot device.
Yeah. So he just basically lays it out that he needs this Holy Grail to. I don't even know. I don't even think he says like he wants anything, but he just says that he's been given a quest to retrieve the Holy Grail
By little people.
Mm-hmm.
by little people.
Little like fat
Yeah.
angels that like circle around his
I think
head.
they also use the word fat, right? They're just
Yeah.
like little fat people, whatever.
Fat,
They
overweight.
floated around.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of hoping to see these like fat angels.
Like
that he
little
was-
fat
Same.
fairies or something.
Honestly, yeah, I was thinking that too.
Maybe they did. And it was just too weird. You
Yeah.
know, like we can't put the fat angels circling
that
around
would
his
have been
head.
would that have even been the weirdest part of the movie? I don't know.
This movie, I think Terry Gilliam holds it back. The weirdness compared to his other shit for sure.
But I think there was this whole thing in the movie where we were not, I don't know if it's like supernatural or, you know, there's obviously like a lot of biblical stuff to it, but he wanted to make sure that we weren't sure like all of this was going to be real or not. You know, like, oh, if he gets a
Right.
Holy Grail, will he be fixed? Like,
There's a lot of like mental illness in this movie.
yeah,
too,
like, is this
from
mental
the-
illness or is this truly like a mix of mental illness and whatever? Just kind of like, biblical
like actual
stuff.
religion?
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool, like how he kept you kind of like, we're like, is that really gonna happen? Is this real? Is this not real? Yeah, I don't know. I like that, but yeah. So Perry gives him or tells him his whole spiel about that. Yeah, he's a knight. He's sent to retrieve the Holy Grail, and then
And everything he says just sounds crazy. Just sounds
Right.
it sounds like a crazy lunatic like rambling on the corner of a
yeah,
street.
I mean, it's a homeless man in New York, and he's talking about fat angels or whatever, fat little people who's
Right.
giving them the task. You know.
Robin Williams is saying it, so you're like, you know what? Maybe he's right.
Yeah.
He's a
So
little coked
there's
up.
nothing about Perry that's making you supposed to believe, you know what? Maybe he's onto something. That's not at all what you're supposed to pick up off of it. And then we learn, we meet like the super or the building attendant. I don't know who he is, but or the landlord, I guess. He starts talking to Jack. He's like, you know, I don't let him have friends over. That's not part of the deal. He's like, I only kept him around I only let him stay because of the tragedy. And then, you know, Jack asks, wait, what tragedy? He was like,
9/11.
it was like 10 years before that. He predicted 9/11. No, yeah, he tells them, well, he like years ago he used to be married. He was happy. He was married to a beautiful woman, and then one day they went out, and some crazy man shot up the place with a shotgun and killed his wife right in front of him. So you're like, dun dun dun. Yeah, it just really comes back full circle, and you see this look on Jack's face that he
Right.
realized that he ruined even more lives than he thought, or now he actually got a piece of someone's life that he incidentally ruined.
He's confronting it head on.
Yeah, so he starts kind of losing it, and he tries to figure out a way to basically just help Jack, but it's more to alleviate his own guilt than anything,
Yeah,
to genuinely help him.
The whole movie, I feel like, is him struggling with like, do I generally want to help him, or is this just like me feeling guilty, like about this guy, my association,
Yeah,
fucking him up?
yeah, because he just tries to give him like $70 to begin with or something. He's like 50. He's like, fine, 70 or whatever. And he thinks that'll help. Or not. I don't even think he was really convinced that it'll help. He just wanted to do something.
Right, yeah, that's like the first thing you think of. Oh, you need money, like homeless, you need money, here's some money.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Robin Williams immediately gives it to some like crazy homeless guy saying sell.
buy,
buy and sell.
Yeah, so,
He's talking into the telephone though.
yeah.
Not connected to anything.
Yeah,
not connected to
the
anything.
telephone is in the shopping cart.
He
by
invented
the way,
the cell phone.
Dude, I tell you, he's on Wall Street.
on Wall Street,
yeah,
bro.
he's on Wall
Probably,
Street.
yeah. Like that, they literally probably shot that
I
there.
work on Wall Street.
But so yeah, obviously Robin Williams like just doesn't know how to handle money, so it's like there's really like no like at that point you kind of realize there's like really probably no way to actually help him because he's so like mentally ill and can't even handle money. Like
Yeah, like you know that he's truly a good person because he's homeless, and what does he do when he gets $70? He immediately gives it away to someone else. But like in Perry's own mind, he's not a homeless guy. He's just a knight who doesn't, whatever. He doesn't think of himself as a homeless man or whatever. He thinks that he has a higher purpose, So, Jeff Bridges started losing it. He's just like, why would you give him that? He's just like, because I don't need money. And then, so you see this look on Jack's face that he's like, I don't know what I can do to help this guy. But is that when we first see the girl, Lydia? When we use like
yeah, around that. Yeah,
that's the first time
because
we see her, right?
Yeah, because he goes back, I think another time and confronts him.
He waits for him or something like at that place. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
okay.
yeah, it's when he meets up with Robin Williams one of those times, and then he's just waiting for the clock to strike 12, and then she comes out of work, and then that's when he starts following her.
Oh, okay,
and
gotcha.
telling Jeff Bridges all about like
her. Yeah, okay, yeah. She what is it? She like stops by a bookstore, like a newsstand that sells books or something like that.
Yeah,
and then
crappy
like,
every other
romance
day
book.
and buys a romance book.
yeah. She
she
goes to
does
the
the same
Chinese
thing,
restaurant, and if she
clockwork.
orders dumplings or something, she's having a really good day or she's having a really bad day. I forgot which one of the two it was.
But yeah, Robin Williams is just very, or I guess Perry is very just infatuated with this character and very enchanted.
Yeah, and he's learned everything about her from just following her, which, I mean, in hindsight, is really creepy and terrifying. But for the sake of this movie, it's very romantic. And
Very romantic.
Yeah, very romantic. But yeah, so then Jack kind of realizes that this is what he has to do: is that he has to help him win Lydia, basically. And he thinks that'll either alleviate his guilt or finally make. Again, like I don't think he's like still doing it in the sense of like I want to make Perry happy. I just want to stop feeling guilty. Like that like even when he realizes that he needs to help him like get the girl, it's still very much coming from like a selfish place.
So eventually, like he kind of like hatches up a plan to like try to like get Lydia and Perry together, and pretty much like a lot of lying and manipulation to make it happen. It's almost like that sitcom, like, oh, don't tell them we're going to meet each other at the restaurant.
Okay, I got you. When you want to set two people up, but you're like, oh, let's hang out, and then you tell them, oh, let's hang out, and then you don't show up, but they're together, so now they have to hang out or go out. Okay, I got you.
Kind of do something like that. Because like for some reason, Jeff Bridges, his love interest,
Anne.
Anne. She's like a nail tech, and then she has Lydia over.
Well, she owns the video store.
Huh?
She owns the video store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's a nail tech.
Right. Oh, well, yeah.
She does her own nails.
Yeah,
She does nails,
Yeah.
right.
I think she said she used to work at a nail salon or something like that. Yeah.
So she has like Lydia over to like
But even before
try to trick
that,
her over to like going on this date.
But even before that, remember they just call her to tell her that she won a year membership or a lifetime membership at the video store or whatever. But she doesn't buy it. She's like,
And that one doesn't
no,
work.
thank you. Or she's like, I don't even own a VCR or whatever. And they're like, click. Or like, okay, so
No collars, dude.
yeah, so they're like, okay, we're gonna have to do something. I like it, like okay, we're like, oh, this isn't gonna be easy. We're gonna have to do something more. And his solution was hire the homeless drag queen or whatever to serenade her.
Cabaret singer.
Oh, cabaret singer. There we go. That probably makes a lot more sense. Yeah, the homeless cabaret singer with the voice of an angel to go serenade her and tell her that she's won this contest at her office in front of all her like coworkers and everything. It's just like balloons that say video stop or something like that.
Yeah, their own special balloons.
Yeah.
Store.
Yeah.
All
So
out.
he does this like 2-minute song and dance just to tell her that she's won the contest, to really drive the idea home that she actually won this and it's not a prank or whatever. And then, yeah, and because of that, I guess she finally decides, like, oh, I don't have a choice. I have to go claim my prize. And then she goes to the video store and meets everybody, basically. Meets Jack, meets Anne, meets Perry. I like how, like, to Perry, to make him look like an employee, they just put a shirt over him, but they don't even, like, bathe him or anything. He's still just super dirty and has, like, probably smells. Oh, it does smell because they just give him an air freshener to wear as a necklace, basically. And it's, like, hidden under his shirt. But yeah, I was like, you couldn't even like wash his face at least and his hands, the visible parts. But whatever, maybe that's just me overthinking it.
Some girls like that look, it's like
The dirty look,
the grungy look.
See, girls like bums,
That's
but
Portland,
not like homeless bums.
It's
Like
Portland. It's the Portland look. Though.
yeah, oh, that's true. Yeah, people pay a lot of money in Portland to look poor, dude.
True.
But yeah, so she goes, to claim her prize or whatever, and she's very, like, off-putting, I guess. They keep trying to talk to her, and she's just, like, giving very short answers and going, like, no, just kind of. She was there, but doesn't really want to be there, even though she's there of her own fucking free will and volition. But yeah, I don't know. She just kind of comes off. Yeah, I don't know. I guess off-putting is just the word I keep thinking of. And also just very autistic. Yeah, just almost immediately I started thinking autistic. Mostly because of her mannerisms.
Yeah, I'd say she should be diagnosed with autism. Probably this character is good early autistic representation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This is the early '90s. No one was really claiming autism at this point.
Yeah, back then they just called you quirky.
Yeah. Or rude, because
Or if it's the '60s, give you a lobotomy.
The good old days. Well, yeah, she's. I also said she reminded me of a female Woody Allen, who also seems pretty autistic. So, yeah, it's pretty there. It's pretty on brand.
Very Woody Allen-y for sure.
Yeah,
especially in that first scene.
I was trying to think of like what would the female version of Woody be? And I mean, there really isn't one.
Wendy.
So. Yeah, I was thinking like Wendy or Wanda or something like that. So Wanda Allen. But no, yeah. So what? She goes, claims a prize, but not really because they didn't have any movies she likes. She likes musicals, I guess, or something like that. And then, how do they get her back?
She comments on Anne's nails, says that she likes her nails.
That's what it was.
And Anne offers to do them for her.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah. And it seems like obviously Anne didn't really want to. Like she didn't even want to. She wanted to, but she didn't really want to partake in this scheme, if that's the right word to use. But she also just really wanted to help Jack get better. And she's, I guess she seems pretty convinced that he needs to do this to be kind of like whole again.
Yeah.
So she goes upstairs or she comes back later that night to get her nails done by Anne. And then we see Jack and Perry. Well, we see Jack dressing up Perry, like, finally gives him the bath that he deserves, so he can actually have a chance at winning this girl. And he's in a super, super huge white suit that does not fit him. And he's just like stapling it together so it looks more form-fitting, which I don't know why, but I just thought that was so funny and I loved it. I was like,
right.
I was like, that's a good idea, actually. But yeah, man, I don't know. The date was actually kind of nice. It was a very nice scene. It was like the first not depressing thing, I think, honestly, up until that point.
Right, seeing some hope there.
Yeah,
for Robin Williams' character.
Yeah, they go on a double date to a Chinese restaurant, and you see Perry and Lydia are just kind of. it was kind of stale in the beginning, but they really hit it off. You know, they start flirting, they start playing soccer with the dumpling or a broccoli. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, she has a lot of like neurotic habits with her food that she keeps doing, and he's like very accommodating with it, like right off the bat.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is kind of cute. You
they're
know?
both extremely clumsy people.
Yeah,
At times.
yeah.
Yeah. So you see her, the way she was serving herself the noodles, dude, was giving me anxiety. I was like, why is she holding the plate like that?
Yeah,
And
she's
why is
like
she using the spoon that way to pour it onto her plate?
Like spilling the noodles into her plate to where like they were just still dangling from the.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just,
I was
way
like,
clumsy.
dude, this girl's making it seem way more complicated to serve herself noodles. That was a bit of a rough watch. But yeah, and then I forgot she does say when she's getting her nails done that I think that she's never even been on a date or she's never went through a dating phase, but she is kind of lonely, and she was talking about like that she's very she thinks that she doesn't leave a good impression or just an impression at all because she talks about how at the company Christmas party she was serving herself. Or she was fixing the hors d'oeuvres as people were grabbing it, so she could, because she needed to make it look all filled out all the time. So, I mean, if that's not autism, I don't know what is. I think that's probably one of the most clear examples I can think of.
Yeah, it sounds like she has a really shitty job that encompasses like turning hardcovers into soft cover paperbacks.
Yeah, something about hardcovers versus soft covers. I didn't fully understand what she did, to be honest, but I just remember she kept talking. She works
Really
for a publishing
mundane.
company, yeah, and she just kept talking about hardcovers versus soft covers. So she's not fulfilled at work. She's not fulfilled in her personal life. She's very just lonely, I guess. But overall, a good person. But yeah, she doesn't have any friends. And she has not an overbearing mother, but a mother who just constantly reminds her that she's single because she calls once a week to say, "Did you meet anyone new yet?" or whatever. And yeah, I feel like we learned a lot about her in a short amount of time. We really get a feel for her character relatively quick.
No, I think it's interesting they say that she's lonely because something I was thinking about is like every character in this movie is like lonely. Based on maybe their own decisions or like their lack of everybody in this movie is experiencing like Robin Williams lost his wife or his girlfriend. I'm sorry,
It was his wife.
It was
his wife.
It was
Okay,
his wife, yeah.
right. And so like he's lonely with that. And then Jeff Bridges and his romantic interest Anna, I guess, is like they are so so close but so far apart too. Like there's like a loneliness there,
Yeah.
whatever. And like
They're
yeah.
definitely together, but lonely at the same time. Yeah, she's lonely because she loves him, but he can't say that he loves her, and so she knows that there's something there, and he's, I guess, scared to admit that there's something there, something along those lines.
Right. He wants to focus on his career and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
he wants to get back to
Maybe-
being normal first. Yeah.
Yeah, typical guy excuses. Am I right, ladies?
What ladies are you addressing, Bentley?
But and then you have Lydia, who's literally like fucking lonely. Like when Robin Williams is watching her, she's just living her whole life, just like doing her own shit.
Yeah. That's a good point. I didn't really think about that. That yeah, all kind of like our four main characters are very lonely in one way or another.
Battling with it in some way.
Yeah.
Or the fear of being lonely or whatever.
Yeah. Dang. Pretty good observation there, Ben.
Yeah,
There you go, man.
The Freudian subtext to this movie is about loss.
Nietzsche. I don't know.
Nietzsche.
It was the other guy.
Bob Saget?
Young.
Oh, yeah, Young.
Young. There we go. Boom.
Right. He was
But-
more of a feelsy guy. But
Yeah,
so
that guy. No, I was kidding.
so the honestly the date between them is like one of my favorite scenes in this movie. I'd say they've done very romantically well.
Yeah.
Like Robin Williams starts singing this like Lydia song, and it's charming.
Lydia the Tattooed Lady.
Yeah, Lydia the Tattooed Lady.
Yeah, which is a real song. Have you guys ever heard it?
Yeah, I've heard it. I don't know where.
Yeah.
But
I remember my photography teacher in high school made us watch that music video for some reason.
music video.
Oh, well, not a music video. Sorry, it wasn't a music video. It was just a guy singing the song, not a
Okay.
music video. Sorry. No, it was older. It was like from the 50s or the 60s, whatever. Oh, because there was a girl named Lydia in our class, and she's like, "Oh, the Lydia the tattooed lady? And then obviously all these millennials are like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Every girl named Lydia has tattoos, bro.
And,
That song.
I was gonna.
But yeah, and then also the set piece that they're at like at a Chinese restaurant or whatever, but it's like looks really cool, like the set that they're at. There's like a neon like thing in the background.
Why don't Chinese restaurants look like that anymore?
Yeah,
or maybe
fake.
maybe it's just in New York or something where they like really go all out like that sometimes. But because I've been in a few Chinese restaurants where we're really trying to make sure it looks Chinese, but I felt like it was nothing close to that scale, to be honest. But I remember thinking about the Chinese place. I was like, dang, that's actually a cool looking Chinese restaurant. Like, I wouldn't mind visiting that place. I didn't even get a good look at the food. I was just looking at the ambiance of the place. Yeah. Oh man, I can't believe we kind of skipped over Robin Williams' character. He's kind of, or not kind of, he's constantly haunted by this red knight, basically, who's like on a horse that looks super demonic. And back then that was all just like
looks like a Dark Souls boss.
It kind of does, yeah.
I was thinking Time Bandits
designed by
extra.
Terry Gilliam. like there's very a huge Terry Gilliam kind of influence on this Red Knight, and it is, I mean, obviously pretty terrifying if you really think this thing's following you around the entire time. Shoots fire off the top of his head.
Yeah, it looks nightmarish.
Yeah,
like there's
this is not CGI, people. This is just a guy on a horse and excellent wardrobe.
I thought it looked cool, dude. Yeah, lighting and the colors looked on it.
The wardrobe in this movie was fantastic. Like the costumes and everything. Very, very, very well done.
Jeff Bridges' shirt that he wore as Big Lebowski, which RJ pointed out.
Yeah. Where's the... Yeah.
See, that's RJ's autism.
He's wearing like I forgot what the type of shirts they're called, but they're like, they're like white in the center and then the sleeves are different colors.
I always hear them as like baseball tees.
Right, they're usually called baseball tees. Okay. But it has like it has some Japanese
baseball
player and some Japanese writing on it, and he's wearing the same shirt in the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, which comes out 6 years later, right?
6 or 7,
6 or 7 years later. So yeah. And then fun fact for anyone who doesn't know is that the Coen brothers actually told Jeff Bridges to just bring his own wardrobe to the sets because they already knew him and they thought when they wrote the character, they're like, this is exactly how we want him to dress. So Jeff Bridges literally just dresses as himself in The Big Lebowski.
You think even the fucking bathrobe and
especially the bathrobe
in the grocery store, that was him? Like
especially the bathrobe.
They're expecting him to come in a t-shirt and he just comes in that
bathrobe with those kind of like funky pajama pants. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. And the shades, absolutely, man. But yeah, so Perry's constantly haunted by this red knight, and then
it seems to come out whenever he's like battling his past life.
Yeah,
that's what I got out.
And they're like high moments of stress, or
high moments of stress.
Yeah,
I noticed that like whenever like he was confronted with like, oh, you used to be like a teacher, you used to have this like life before you went crazy and started talking about the angels around your head.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess. Damn, we also forgot that the landlord or whatever, he kept a lot of Perry's stuff that reminded him of his past because I guess it just really upset him. So he kept it in a box. And this is how we learned that he was he was like a professor at, I don't know if it's a nice university or even a real university. I don't remember the name of it, but
yeah, well, they said teacher, but yeah, it looked like he was a professor of some sort.
Yeah. So but yeah, they kept everything from his past in a box because I guess it just kept triggering his, PTSD. And so we see him haunted by this red knight. And then, but once he sees it, when Jack is around, the red knight starts actually like falling back. And he tells him like, oh, he's scared of you. Like, Jack, you're him. Like you're the one that's supposed to help me complete this quest of, getting the Holy Grail. But yeah, sorry, we just I forgot we kind of skipped over that part. But yeah, coming back to the date, dude, it's a very nice kind of, it's a scene that gives you hope almost, because this is like this is the happiest we've seen Perry in a non-delusional way. Like not because, he's excited about saving somebody or, talking about his quest or whatever. He's just happy to even finally talk to Lydia and spend time with her. And then also the first time that we see Jack be happy. You know, you see how much they're hitting it off, and he just has this big grin on his face. And so it's just a very like hopeful scene. Like oh, you know, things might be okay. But just like anything else, when it's not the end of the movie, you know, something has to take a turn. Unfortunately,
You need characters to be at their worst moment, like right before the ending.
yeah.
Which
Classic.
is like right after the date. You know, they're very stoked, but then Robin Williams goes crazy, runs to the place where Jeff Bridges got gasoline poured on him.
Yeah. Well, because
Jack
Carrie feels rejected
right
at the end of the date because she thought he was trying to sleep with her, and he was like, "No, I'm not." But I mean, she's like, "What did you say? Like she didn't give me her number or something like that."
I think she just forgot. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't think it was anything malice, but I think she like literally just forgot. Yeah,
I don't think that's what set him off though, because it showed this weird like cut scene where he was looking at the front of the apartment building, and then it cut to like the front of the restaurant
bar,
or something.
yeah.
So I
Blood
was
splatter.
yeah. So.
but that's what I was saying. Like, what triggered that memory? Like, because I remember she didn't give me the number, and then he has like the flashback of his wife being murdered right in front of him.
Maybe just to stretch the date, I guess.
Holy shit, dude! Like that.
Yeah, they went full fucking like Tarantino.
That was so fucking graphic, man. I did not see that coming at all.
I can imagine someone loving this movie all the way up until that one part, and like, oh my word, that blood is so devious.
So I didn't know anything about this movie going into it. So I was just, all I knew was the Fisher King, and it's Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges, and Terry McGilliam.
Gilliam.
Gilliam. Yeah, that guy. And so I didn't know anything about it. And then so all we see in the opening scene, you know, is a shock jock just being funny, being himself. And then boom, one of his listeners goes crazy and kills him, you know, mass murders and suicides. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is this movie, dude? Like, I had no idea this is going to be anything remotely close to this.
Yeah, it takes turns, dude.
Yeah.
Detours.
Yeah, so all we do is hear about the story, and then we actually see the moment it happens where Robin Williams' wife's head gets blown off, and he's just covered in brain matter and blood,
like
and
red, like dough.
Yeah,
whatever the special effect was for
It was
this.
just hamburger meat.
Hamburger meat, probably. Yeah.
They get like Nickelodeon when they used to slime people, but with brain matter and blood. That's basically what Robin Williams looked like in this scene. And then we start seeing more flashbacks of when he spent time in the asylum, and he's just going crazy, like he's in the straitjacket because he spent years there. I don't know. I know it just like years.
3 years.
Yeah. And it's a pretty tough scene, but yeah, Bentley, I think you're right. I think I could see. I feel like I know certain people who would be loving the movie, and then they see that and they're like, "Oh God, like what am I watching now?" And just get kind of turned off by the whole thing. I could, yeah, and yeah, they're typically girls, obviously, but yeah, man, that was kind of rough.
Comes out of nowhere,
to watch,
too.
honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get a Tarantino like Kill Bill moment.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Comedy. But it gives you a lot, dude. It starts with the shock jock, then it turns into like a violent murder thing, and then it turns into like a thing about like a homeless community, and then it turns into like a nice little romance. Like, I don't know, it just goes into like a lot of directions.
It's about a story about like hope and faith and kind of like doing the right thing for selfless reasons. And yeah, that's, love. Can't forget the love, dude. Can't forget the love. And man, yeah. So Perry starts getting haunted by the Red Knight again. You know, once after his like PSD triggers over, he starts running away. Whatever. He goes back to the homeless spot or the spot where he saves Jack. And I don't know, bro. Apparently, this is like a thing for these fucking rich kids that they just show up back to the spot to look for homeless people. I guess, you know, to torture and beat the shit out of or possibly murder. I'm really convinced that they probably didn't murder one at some point, right? I mean, they're already gonna set Jeff
Those kids, yeah, probably.
Yeah, they were gonna set Jack on fire. So
I mean, I've heard people like back in the day, like what, like the 50s and stuff, people would kill more homeless people, and like you would kill like a sailor or whatever,
yeah.
like
a sailor.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Well, I think I always heard that serial killers always like to start off with homeless people because it's like no one's gonna miss them. You know, like if they go
Right.
missing, no one's gonna look. Blah blah blah. Whatever. So
You got to kill a drifter.
Drifter, that's it.
that's the word. Yeah. Oh, it starts with animals when they're children. Whatever. That's like the whatever the common trope amongst them, and then they start moving on to fucking drifters and homeless people and blah 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 blah. Hookers. That was a big one.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the funner one.
Yeah. So Perry gets fucking his ass stomped.
Stabbed,
Yeah.
basically.
Unfortunately, by these fucking American psychos. And Jack. How does Jack find out about it?
Well, like, so like he gets stabbed, and then the next day, Jack finds out that he's gonna get. He's talking to his agent, and he's gonna get his job back, basically, at the radio.
Yeah.
And like he's very excited about this. Oh my god, my life is back. And then like his girl or whatever comes in and is like, oh my god, that's great, but like I love you and shit.
And he's like, about that.
I need some time. I need some
You need
time.
to slow down. Is that
He's
what he
like,
says?
Hey, I'm glad you brought this up, by the way, because I was thinking,
Right.
you know, we should slow things down.
But which sucks because at that point, like the audience, I think wants them to get together. Like
yeah,
you
like
want
actually
to see
be together. Yeah.
Jeff Bridges do the right thing.
Yeah, because this whole time, every time we see them together, we see that she's so invested in this relationship and she just wants to be with him, but he's so hesitant. Like he wants to be with her, but he doesn't want to, you know, get tied down in you know, in a sense. And it's a pretty rough watch, honestly, because it's like, ooh, you know, sometimes you're like, all right, like to a guy, you'd be like, all right, bro, let it go. But yeah,
His acting is so cold in that scene.
It
He's just so like
really
dismissive
is,
of her and
man.
stuff. And
like it really seems like you can sense like hesitancy in his voice, but at the same time, it's pretty cold blooded, man. It's just like, yeah, you know, like I like he's like slow things down. It's like, bro, you're not even moving. Like, what do you mean slow things down? Like,
And that was after he fucking like picked her up and put her on his lap. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
like-
think we need to slow things down, babe. Like, all right, bro.
it's like
How about-
it's like the reassurance, dude. It's he wanted to get her into a false sense of security and then just fucking
mixed signals.
slam her, bro. Yeah, that was a rough scene, man. I thought the murder scene was rough, but that was rough in a non-visual sense, just kind of I don't know, an emotional sense. But yeah,
It was cringe, bro.
it was also pretty cringe,
dude.
honestly.
Jeff Bridges being a little cringe in that moment,
Yeah.
bro. Honestly.
But yeah. Oh yeah. So he finds out because Jack gets a phone call and he's like, "What do you mean you found my wallet?" And then they go to the hospital and they find Perry just covered head to toe in basically like cast stuff, or you know, he's got his head wrapped up, he's got like a broken arm, and you know, and apparently he's catatonic. He's not responding to anything, and the doctor tells him.
And somehow they just
Like,
know that like it's not from the stabbing or the injury. He just
Yeah.
turned catatonic.
Well, he said that
because
he
of,
saw like in the records
emotional-
that he's been there for that he was admitted before for the same thing, like years ago.
Catatonic?
Yeah, like
Okay.
he was, I think
After
he was
the
also
event
found
with his
catatonic.
wife,
Yeah.
he was catatonic.
So the doctor knew the story too, and so
But
they
he knew it
talked.
wasn't like a medical, like, oh, he got like stabbed.
Yeah.
And
It
became
had nothing to do with
catatonic
that.
from
Yeah,
that.
he's just like that'll heal, but like who knows if he'll ever wake up, basically. And yeah, so the doctor, he's telling him, you know, he's probably gonna have to go back to the asylum. And Jack goes, "Well, what if I take him in?" And he's like, "I wouldn't recommend it because it's, you know, he needs real medical care, like round the clock or whatever. And you know, it's just not a good idea. Like it's a huge toll on people." And it's just, you see, like I mean, the fact that Jack considered it is a pretty good, like, positive, like a small glimpse of hope, you know, like a small glimpse of light. But then we see that he doesn't do it. He doesn't take him in, and you know, him and his girl, I guess, kind of break up, you know, whatever, because it just kind of cuts to Jack going, heading back to to his office building where he used to work, you know, to try to get his job back or whatever. But it seems like he was like getting offered a pilot or something.
Like later on.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah, the
remember,
pilot
like he
for
goes
the
like, yeah, he
homeless
goes with
TV
David,
show?
yeah, with David Hyde Pierce, yeah. Oh yeah, the homeless it's
Yeah, the homeless
it's a comedy
comedy.
series about homeless people, but
That's the sadness.
yeah, but it's not depressing at all. It's kind of I love how
about their
that's
wacky
the,
antics.
Yeah, I love how that's the elevator pitch. Like, I don't know why, I just thought that was so
I'm surprised
funny.
I haven't seen the TV show like that yet.
Honestly, Sid. It's you know what, there probably is one and we just never heard about it because it got canceled so fast or didn't even make it out of the pilot.
We've gone close with like Trailer Park Boys, but that's the closest.
It's dude, it's always sunny. I like constantly think. Well, I
There you
mean,
go.
Charlie's pretty homeless, but
The gang are homeless or
Yeah.
whatever. Is that the name of the episode?
probably.
But
Oh, no, I think you're thinking the gang goes on welfare. Maybe
Gang Goes on Welfare.
Yeah, that's one of the best, honestly. But
I can't watch it now though. It's probably banned.
only the blackface episodes are banned.
Lethal Weapon was one. Yeah.
Lethal weaponry. Oh my god.
They're all in it, I think, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I saw that episode, but like D and Mac and I think Dennis.
Yeah.
The
they're
wedding
all in
one.
it? What do
Like
you mean
the
they're
wedding
all in it?
Lethal Weapon
Oh,
parody thing that they
okay.
do.
Yeah.
There's like they're all in blackface.
Oh,
Every
gotcha.
single one of them.
Okay, yeah. I just remember at the end where, because they're trying to help some kid at the high school because he's like depressed and lonely or whatever, and they want him to make friends. So he shows up in blackface at the end of the episode. Oh, dude, I was fucking holding my sides. I was laughing so hard at that reveal, man. But
That used to be funny, but now it's seriously bad and reprehensible. But it used to be funny.
We gotta
God,
bring
you're fucking
back
gay.
blackface.
Yeah, Bailey.
But it used to be
Bailey,
hilarious.
I'm gonna have to ask you to get over it. All right. We know you're 1/64 black, but you need to get over it.
1/8 Cherokee, all right.
But we digress to It's Always Sunny somehow, one way or another. But yeah, so we see Jack. It seems like he's going back to work, whatever. Maybe he can finally move on. And then, this dude's giving him this terrible elevator pitch about a comedy series about homeless people.
He's basically forgotten everything and dismissed everything that he's like learned throughout the movie. Like he's not with the girl. He's like totally doesn't care about like the homeless people at all. Like that drag queen homeless performer is like bloody and like asking him for help as he's going into like the building.
Right, yeah.
And
He's like,
just
Jack, you know me, help, yeah. And then
He's like, I don't know this guy, and this is like right after like Robin Williams and stuff. So it's like he hasn't learned a fucking thing at that.
Yeah,
point,
we don't know like
so.
how much immediately afterwards, but it's really soon. It seems like, yeah. But yeah, again, Jack, even when he's trying to do good things, it comes from a place of selflessness, like the entire time. And then so he gets this terrible elevator pitch, and I think this is some of the best acting I've seen come out of Jeff Bridges is when he's hearing this idea or whatever, his face starts like twitching and like quivering, like it goes like really up close on his face, and you can just see like not really his like lip quiver, but kind of like his cheeks like right under his eyes. They're almost like twitching or quivering. I think quivering is probably like the right word. And I don't know why, but I was just like, damn, dude, that looks so good, so real. Like he looks really like upset about this whole thing that's happening. And he just kind of realizes all the mistakes he's made. And I don't know. I thought it was probably, I don't want to say my favorite scene, but it was definitely one of my favorite scenes because it was just incredible acting coming out of Jeff Bridges. Like not saying a single word, just literally facial expressions.
That was a good decision to flex that cheek muscle a little bit.
Yeah, just like flex on flex, flex on flex. It looks so good, man. So emotional. And yeah, so he runs out of the meeting because he realizes, this isn't right. This isn't going to do anything, whatever. And then that's when he goes visits Perry at the asylum. Mm-hmm. And man, that is also rough to watch, dude.
That monologue is probably my favorite acting of his that I saw in the movie. Like that monologue he does.
Which one?
Talking to him, like I'm not gonna you're not gonna make me do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I'm not gonna break into a billionaire's house just for something that might work or something, just to possibly wake you up. Like why would I throw my life away for that? Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 minutes of him just talking to himself, basically.
a dead,
like
still Robin Williams. Yeah, he's just lying there, eyes wide open, and Yeah, I mean, he's almost monologuing to himself, but it is directed at someone. It's kind of weird, but
A lot of great homeless extras too in this insane asylum. I want to say they all like have their own unique flavor of what they bring to the table.
all different levels of crazy. It seems like, but that place was super depressing too, man. I mean, I feel it. I mean, obviously it's an asylum or a public funded asylum. It's always going to be super depressing, but movies always make it look really like the worst place in the world. Like if you ever see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
That looks like a blast, bro.
And Nurse Ratched, wasn't she
Except
like
for the
really awesome?
lobotomies, but sure. Yeah, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was just like a summer camp movie, but it's set in an asylum. Everyone knows
I
that.
get to hang out with Danny DeVito and Jack Nicholson. Hell yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty
Christopher
good.
Walken, isn't he in there?
No.
No, or I don't think so. Not that I remember.
Or the guy who plays Doc from Back to the Future.
Christopher Lloyd.
Right,
You're right.
right,
Yeah,
he's in
yeah,
there.
you're right. It is Christopher Lloyd.
Hmm. He's actually one of the more prominent crazy people, I think, in that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jeff Bridges goes into this monologue, like basically like talking to Robin Williams, or really kind of talking to himself, like kind of
Exactly.
like figuring out what he should do to like help Robin Williams. Like he basically killed him a second, like he killed his wife, and then now he's dead because he set up or he's almost dead because of this date that went wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
Like yeah, then so it just talks himself into like breaking into a billionaire's house
Yeah.
and stealing the Holy Grail.
Making a grapple hook
Uh-huh.
out of an anchor, and
He had,
I don't
like,
even
an
think it was
actual-
rope. It looked like
That was
Mental
rope,
floss.
yeah.
it was rope. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this movie turns into a heist movie for like
Mhm.
5
It does,
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The last part of
Oh
it.
yeah, and of course the billionaire's house looks like a castle, you know, which just really keeps
Yeah.
feeding into this whole like medieval fantasy
Mhm.
kind of theme.
Pretty
to
funny,
it.
honestly.
Yeah.
I wonder if that building is still up.
I know. I was thinking, is that really a building in New York, or did they just shoot that somewhere
think
else and make it
so.
look like? Because I don't know how many castle looking buildings there are in New York, especially in the city.
Yeah.
But,
That's
yeah,
where the
I-
Holy Grail is, according to Robin Williams' character. So Jeff Bridges, and maybe it'll wake him up like Sleeping Beauty. You know, he's just very desperate to like actually fix this problem once and for all. So
I love that. Like as he's climbing onto the terrace of the place, he's just like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like I was like, oh yeah, just break into a billionaire's house, get arrested, and lose my entire livelihood because I gotta help this guy. I gotta help Perry. And so he's just kind of talking to himself through the whole time. And then he sees what's it called, like that stained glass, right, or whatever, stained glass window.
Yeah.
And it's the Red Knight, basically. So we see where Perry got this imagery from, which I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, because I kind of did wonder that. I was like, why a Red Knight? Like, why is he like serious? Like, why was this a thing? But so that
or
was
why
cool.
that house and like why that
It had to be the
person,
castle. Like, it
like-
had to be the castle looking house, right?
Yeah.
Well, the first we see was it was like in a magazine. The billionaire was in a magazine, and we see what looks like just like a regular. It looks like a chalice, basically, in the background. And he's like, "That's it. That's the Holy Grail. Like that's the Holy Grail."
The Red Knight comes from the story of the Grail. He's the guy who steals the cup from King Arthur.
oh interesting.
Boom. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, I think if you know the story of the Fisher King, you probably would appreciate this movie a lot more. Kind of like Oh Brother. Like if you knew the Odyssey or the story of the Odyssey, you'd probably just appreciate it on a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I really didn't know much about the Fisher King. I was like Googling stuff about it.
Jesus story, or it's a Christian or Old Testament, one of them.
It says it's an Arthurian.
Is it?
Like,
Okay.
it's like an
Okay.
Arthurian story. Whatever.
Interesting. For some reason, I assumed it was like New
But it has
Testament
to
or
do,
something.
well, it has to do with that because the Holy Grail, that's the cup that Jesus Christ used, like during I think like the Last Supper or whatever. It's it's the cup that he drinks out of in the Last Supper. But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of
Why do people care about the cup he drank out of so much? It's like he also ate from a fork or what? Like he ate from a plate.
No
Where's
one
the
talks
holy?
about the fork of grail or
Yeah.
the holy fork or the, holy
fork,
spoon?
dude?
Yeah, yeah. No one ever talks about those.
Like or like the table they ate at.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Where's the table? somewhere out there, someone has that table.
Or why are they
doesn't
so-
realize that they have the Last Supper table.
Why are they so occupied with the fucking cup out of all things?
So okay, I haven't seen it, but Life of Brian, right? That's supposed to be about like the guy who was born next to Jesus, or what was it?
He was born in the manger next to Jesus, the one that Jesus was born into.
Okay.
And then everybody thinks he's the son of Christ.
Oh, that's the story. Okay, gotcha. Because I don't know why I was thinking. Because now that we're talking about the other holy utensils,
Or the son of God. Yeah.
okay, like that'd be like a kind of funny story where it's like, oh, everyone talks about the Holy Grail, like, but no one talks about the holy fork or the holy spoon. And there's just someone who's truly convinced that these objects exist. So they set out on a journey to reclaim
Maybe it's
the
because
other holy utensils.
someone already has all the Holy Grail or all the holy spoons, all the holy plates, and they're just missing the Holy Grail. And that's why it's so
they
sought
want the
out.
whole
It's the
set.
last
Yeah,
piece of the set that
want
they
the
don't
whole
have.
set, yeah, and that's what causes Jesus' second coming. You need to bring all the items together. But I don't know why I just thought about that, but yeah, it kind of reminded me of your like Life of Brian or whatever. You're like Jesus adjacent or whatever, you know.
And then also there's the Monty Python in the Search for the Holy Grail. Which
Oh right, yeah,
is,
I haven't seen it.
Terry Gilliam might have directed that one as well.
But yeah, so we get
He loves those grails.
Jack breaking into the billionaire's place. And he starts hallucinating. He sees the guy who killed Perry's wife, and or the guy who went insane and shot up a whole bar. And so he notices he's hallucinating. He goes into the library to steal the chalice, and he sees it. He turns it around, and he sees it's like I don't even think it was first place. It was like second place in a beauty pageant or a Christmas pageant, something
Christmas
like that.
pageant, something like that, from 1932.
Yeah. Oh, and of course it has to be a Christmas pageant because again, biblical. So like, I mean, I know like Christmas, Christmas is supposed to be Jesus' birthday. So he's like, so he sees it. He's like, are you kidding me? Like I broke in for a Christmas pageant trophy. And he turns around and he sees the billionaire boom right there on the chair.
A fancy rich person chair right in front of the fire.
Big, think of a big like
set.
leather chair, by the fire that you'd either be smoking cigars, reading a book, some cognac,
I was also thinking of Big Lebowski, the scene where he meets the actual Jeff Lebowski. Or I think Jeff Lebowski, right? Jeff? Isn't that his name? I can't remember right now.
I think we're thinking Jeff Bridges.
Right, but I think his name is Jeff Lebowski.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Lebowski.
But anyway, he meets actual Lebowski, and he tells him of his girlfriend Bunny, who like runs away, and it's in front of the fireplace, and like it's very similar scene.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wonder if the Coen brothers really liked this movie, and that's why they also chose Jeff Bridges for this role.
Maybe, but like you don't get the dude from this role though. That's like it's totally different performance.
Oh yeah, no, totally different vibe, dude. Yeah,
which says a lot to his acting.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges is awesome. But yeah, so we see him. But the billionaire, he's dying basically, or he's dead. We see like a pill bottle and a bunch of pills are off, like missing from it. So he's like, whoa, and. It's funny because I guess me and RJ had the same thought process where we thought he was going to use the Holy Grail to heal the guy, like the guy who just killed himself, or because at this point we don't know if he did it on purpose or by accident. But yeah, because from the Holy Grail, it's supposed to be you drink from it and it heals anything that's wrong with you, basically.
It's like the Resurrection Stone or whatever, right?
The Resurrection Stone, like from
Stone or.
Sorcerer from Harry Potter?
No, it's like an actual thing. It's it's an alchemical thing. That
to be fair, I hear Sorcerer's Stone. Obviously, I think of Harry Potter. So, but yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Can't blame you, dude.
Yeah,
but it's like an alchemical philosophical idea of like being like the elixir of life.
Okay,
you're able to make
okay. I was thinking like the Fountain of Youth or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but. So me and RJ thought the same thing where we thought he was going to use it to heal the guy because again it's supposed to be this healing kind of I don't want to keep using the word grail, but yeah, just this artifact. And we see him, you know, whatever, he can't do anything about it. So he sneaks out, but he sets the alarm off. And we see that
Very
later,
obvious alarm, like
Yeah.
totally red, fucking like.
But I guess I guess that was to show us that he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
Instead of like
yeah.
running out, he still kind of walks out. And then we cut to the next scene. We see a newspaper that says accidental suicide thwarted by burglar or something like that.
Night Prowler.
Night Prowler. There we go. Dang, I really can't remember shit like that. Yeah, so you know, Jeff Bridges inadvertently, or actually it's kind of inadvertently saves the billionaire.
He saves a rich guy's life, but
Yeah.
ruins a bum's life.
Oh my god, it's about class, isn't it? The whole movie's about class systems.
A lot of layers to this movie, dude.
Layers on layers, dude. But yeah, and then so he goes back to the asylum to go see Perry, and he gives them the grail and makes them hold it, and he's kind of like, I don't even know if this is gonna work, you know, but you know, he puts his head down in almost like depression and shame, and we see Perry wake up, and he tells Jack, he tells him something about being in love, or he's like,
He had a dream.
He had a dream that he was married,
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, he had a dream that he was married and that he was there, and something about love, and he's like, why are you? I think he says something like, "Why are you down, Jack?" or something like that. And then we just see this look on Jack's face where it looks like he wants to cry, but almost like tears of joy. Like he's so happy, sad that he got to actually help Jack. Perry fulfill his quest, you know, and he brought him back from his catatonic state that he again inadvertently made him fall into.
He was just faking it the whole time, dude. That
He just wanted
catatonic
attention.
state. Yeah, he just wanted
attention.
Yeah, he just wanted that cup.
He wanted. He just wanted.
That was his way of getting the Holy Grail. He just found this guy and manipulated him to get the Holy
I
Grail.
thought he just wanted to go back to the asylum, make sure someone takes care of him. But
it wakes him up.
So he wakes him up, and then Lydia comes to visit him. Oh, and I forgot, we saw her. Apparently she's been visiting him the whole time because he had this like nice set of pajamas and bed sheets and pillowcases, and she was the one coming back to take care of him, just checking up on him. Really shows a lot about her character, I guess, because you know, this is like one day after meeting Perry, and she's been visiting him forever, how long he's been in the asylum in this catatonic state, probably just talking to him, not even knowing if he's listening.
Maybe she just felt guilty.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just kidding.
She's like, if I slept with him, you'd be okay right now.
Right.
You know? He wouldn't have been almost murdered by a bunch of fucking rich kids. So yeah, we see she comes back. He's not in bed, and Perry is leading a quartet. I don't know, like just a full blown chorus of the.
A quartet would be 4.
Yeah, that's just 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, not like a full blown
An
chorus.
ensemble, an acapella.
Yeah, of mental patients just singing a song. I forgot what song it was, but
Something
that's New York in June song that they kept singing throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
The Gershwin tune.
yeah. And you even see Jack singing along. He has like the biggest smile on his face that we've ever seen, and you can see like Lydia just can't believe it. She's in utter shock, and Perry turns around and he's like, oh, why so glum or whatever. He's like, you're my girl, ain't you? And they do a little kiss. You know, everything seems to be super happy. And then we get Jack going back to the video store to go see Anne, and you know, to finally admit that he does have feelings for her and that he loves her. And honestly, dude, one of my favorite moments was when she like slaps the shit out of him. She's like, she doesn't say like, how dare you, but that's basically her said, like what she's trying to say. Just slaps the shit out of him.
And like right after he says, I love you.
Yeah,
and
he's like, oh, you love me? And then like just slaps him and just like, and then they just starts kissing and they fucking like knock the shelves down. I was like, dude, that's my kind of girl, honestly. Like she slaps you, then she kisses you because She really wants to get the message across that she cares about you. She loves you. And you're an idiot for turning her down. Love it. I actually really loved her character. Vinny's mom, for anyone who's seen Entourage. And for my Psych fans, the Gooch. You guys don't get it because you guys don't watch fucking Psych, but she was one of the best one-time characters in that entire series. I love her so much.
This movie definitely gives you the good ending for all the characters.
Yeah.
You know,
Very, very happy ending, heartwarming. And yeah, man, dude, it was a weirdly heartwarming movie, man.
Right.
I was again not knowing anything about it going into it. I didn't have any expectations, but definitely didn't see that coming. Honestly.
Definitely. I feel like with Jeff Bridges' character, it could have gone either way, to where he could have like gotten the girl, or like he could have like lost her because he was such a jerk to her. You know, like I would have been kind of satisfied either way.
Oh,
like,
really? Okay.
If he got his comeuppance,
Yeah.
for just being a miserable jerk.
Yeah.
You know? But
I honestly think like if
happy ending's good too.
If it ended with her turning him down, I guess it would be understanding, you know, because just of the way he like really treated her. But throughout the whole movie, we really see that she really cares about him, and she was there for his lowest, and you know, I guess it only makes sense that she's gonna be there for his highest when he you know comes back to being the #1 DJ or you know whatever. But
it was probably good that it ended on such a positive note, because a lot of his other movies end on pretty like dark notes. Like Brazil ends with him just getting like the bottom eyes, basically.
Right.
And
Okay.
Time Bandits ends with like his parents getting exploded.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Because they touch pure evil or something in a mailbox.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like that's a kids movie too. It has like a very dark ending. So this movie is like
a lot of kids movies have just dark endings.
Man, the 80s.
You ever see the Never Ending Story or whatever?
I don't know the ending to that. No, there's like a flying dog.
Wait, is it Never Ending Story?
Never Ending Story.
Where the horse drowns in the tar pit or whatever. I think it's Never Ending Story. But,
Sounds horrifying, bro.
Spoilers.
All right, I forgot that was next. Sorry, guys.
Honestly, that'd be a good movie to watch. Never Ending Story.
I'd rather watch The Princess Bride.
Right. We've seen that one though.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about it to our fans.
Yeah. Fans goes with a huge asterisk right there.
No, like our fans.
Yeah.
Fans could mean as many people, multiple. It's just multiple people, man.
Yeah.
Fans is just plural, you know.
People who are listening to this in the ether, bro, or like
We have more than two friends, or more than one friend that'll listen to our podcast.
Yeah, that will listen to it as soon as we upload it, man. You know, that's why I keep saying this, because of the asterisk, since we still haven't uploaded an episode or a clip. But
One of us has to do that for sure.
I mean, you guys have all the equipment, dude.
Yeah.
Like I would, but you guys
You're
have
opting out of
literally
it,
all the
Amelia.
equipment.
Is that what it is? Is that what I'm hearing?
Inadvertently.
No, it's fair. But we'll say we all have all the files too.
Again, I have none of the equipment. So, yeah. But, yeah, man, this movie kind of fucked me up, but in a good way. You know, just it was kind of not an emotional gut punch, but maybe an emotional jab.
But yeah, you asked what my favorite Robin Williams movie was
yeah.
during it, and I was like, well, this one didn't finish yet, so
Yeah.
I couldn't answer yet. But this one's up there in terms of his performances, because of how like I feel early on it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite part about this whole movie. It was just his performance as like this eccentric. Well, he's kind of crazy.
Homeless
Actually, it's
man.
more craziness than anything. Homeless man.
Yeah. It is very Robin Williams-y. Like, we've definitely seen him play this type of character before. You know, a very, like, just energetic, eccentric, whatever, noun. Homeless person, professor, whatever, you know.
Yeah, he's played a professor or teacher in a lot of movies.
Yeah, but he just nails it. But that's exactly what the character was supposed to be. He's just supposed to be this extremely, like, charming, just kind of someone who just really has gone through the shit in his life. And he just nailed it. You just immediately love him and want him. You just want him to be saved.
Do you think this movie could have had a different actor play that character besides Robin Williams? Anybody? Like a Woody Allen?
Woody Allen can only play Woody Allen.
Yeah.
From what I've learned from his movies.
He could have played Lydia.
They picked the worst person possible.
No, dude. If Robin Williams was any other character in this movie, he'd be the homeless cabaret singer. That's pretty, that seems to be pretty on brand with him, honestly.
Right, but could anybody else play the Robin Williams character? Is what he was asking. I think.
Could anyone else? Yeah. I mean, probably
Jim Carrey type.
I immediately
something.
thought Jim Carrey. That's so funny that you mentioned that because I immediately thought Jim Carrey. He would definitely bring a different type of performance or a different type of character, but overall kind of the same. Like a very energetic, eccentric, lovable kind of guy, but can get really serious and just very emotional. Yeah.
Hear me out on this casting decision. Rob Schneider is the Fisher King. Rob Schneider? No.
Rob Schneider was nobody at this point. He wasn't even the SNL guy who was like
Demolition Man?
Was the Stan the Man or like that guy?
Stan making copies.
Oh, that okay. I was like, I don't
Wasn't he
even-
Demolition Man, right? That's
Yeah.
one.
That was after this though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like mid '90s, honestly, or even late '90s.
It was 93.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, that was after this.
Yeah, I'd say this movie is perfectly casted with our two mains.
Yeah, man. I
our
love,
two leads.
dude, David Hyde Pierce, who only went by David Pierce at this point, and this is right before Frasier started.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, yeah. So this is right before Frasier started. I don't know what the hell David Pierce did before this, if anything. Because yeah, Wet Hot American Summer that came out what early '90s? I mean mid '90s,
Late 90s, early 2000s.
I think it was 2001.
Oh shit, never mind. Even later than I thought. But yeah, man, this is I don't know, man. This movie's kind of there's a little something for everyone, to be honest. It's sad, it's funny, it's emotional, makes you think.
Gory.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of I don't want to say like symbolism, but I don't know. It seems like there's like a lot of metaphors for stuff. I mean, obviously, again, you know, there's a huge like kind of biblical aspect to it. And it's just, yeah, dude, it's just very entertaining from beginning to end. I was pretty into it almost immediately, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, the premise, just the shock jock that like ends up accidentally killing someone. It's like so unrelated to the rest of the movie, where it turns into like a buddy movie with like Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges. It's like, I don't know, yeah, it's just
A depressing buddy movie.
Depressing buddy movie. But yeah, it switches up and it's getting on my toes.
It's very much an emotional roller coaster, this movie, man.
Probably my favorite of his movies. Maybe I like Brazil more for like the set pieces.
Yeah.
And
I know you're a huge Brazil fan. Like, I know you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The country and the movie.
Yeah, man.
They have a good flag.
I'd have to rewatch other Terry Gilliam movies, but this so far is probably my favorite. And now one of my favorite Jeff Bridges performances.
Yeah, for sure.
And Robin Williams performances. Yeah. Man.
What's your favorite Robin Williams performance, Amelia?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't want to say Goodwill. I don't want to say Goodwill Hunting because I feel like that's the obvious answer to a lot of people. But damn, bro, give me Jumanji. Give me Jumanji, bro. Or
that was one I was thinking of.
Yeah, or
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire, dude. Like, how do you not think about Mrs. Doubtfire when you think about Robin Williams? Fucking Aladdin.
Right.
He's a genie, dude. Oh my god. And I feel like it's so sad because a lot of people are gonna, or later generations aren't gonna know him as much because of that. Because unfortunately, they made a live action movie, which I heard was actually kind of good, but I didn't watch it.
Insomnia, he was really good too. He played the killer.
I just wasn't a fan of that movie. So
really?
Yeah, I didn't really care for it, to be honest. That's kind of why I didn't personally bring it up. But yeah, I know a lot of people love that movie or thought it was great.
Jack, obviously.
He plays. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dude, Teddy Roosevelt in Night at the Museum. He is Teddy Roosevelt, dude. I was waiting for that Teddy Roosevelt biopic, and he was gonna be in it, probably.
Mork and Mindy as well.
Yeah.
Shazbot, Nanu.
Yeah. He was in a show called The Crazy Ones. It only lasted a season. It was right before he passed away, unfortunately. But I thought it was actually a really good show, even though it was one season. It was him, Sarah Michelle Gellar. It was like a father-daughter runs a advertising agency. And yeah, I felt they just let him really free reign on that one. It was really good.
He was in an episode of Louie That was really, really good. And it was like where they visit like some dead guy's grave. And this is like right before he died too. So it's very like poignant to that. And like they're just like talking about like, yeah, I actually hated this guy. It's pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what would be my favorite performance or my favorite Robin Williams movie, but I watched Jumanji so much as a kid.
Yeah.
I always think about Jumanji. So as of now, I'd probably say Jumanji.
Jumanji's great, dude. You get the full Robin Williams experience.
Yeah.
That one. Which is the thing with Good Will Hunting is that like he's so tame. You don't get the wild Robin Williams.
Yeah.
He,
You
like,
get Oscar winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oscar
he makes a
Williams.
great dramatic performance.
Yeah.
Like, this goes. I don't know if we were talking about this before the podcast, but you're talking about comedic actors doing dramatic roles.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and that's like the perfect example of like a good comedic actor doing a great like dramatic role.
Yep.
But like the traditional Robin Williams role is not that at all.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. No, agree. 100%. Yeah.
You need a little bit of coke in the mix. I feel like, to really unlock the key.
I wish I knew Robin Williams during his Coke days. Well, I wish I knew Robin Williams in general, but specifically the Coke days. No, yeah, man. This I would just tell almost anyone to watch this movie, dude. There's just something a little bit of it for everyone. Unless you don't like a movie that can give you an emotional gut punch, probably stay away from it because I don't know if you can handle it. But overall, man, I'd recommend this movie just about it. Because who doesn't love Robin Williams? Dude, not loving Robin Williams is kind of like not loving The Sandlot. Like, as an American, you're just not allowed these things, man. Like, there's just certain rules in America that you can't, break. And those are two of them. Right.
Sandlot's like our age demographic, though, right? Like, I can't imagine like someone,
I
like an
think The
80-year-old is
I
gonna
think
like
the thing
even know
The
about
Sandlot
that
is
movie.
It's timeless. Like, you can
Think so?
technically watch it at any point. And
Someone that's 80-year-olds now would have been like 15 when that movie like took place.
Right.
So maybe it hit close to home with them. They're like, oh yeah, these were me and me and my friends playing baseball back in the day.
yeah.
Just less racism, probably.
Yeah, that's what that movie didn't have enough of. Was racism.
Racism. I mean, every movie could use more racism to make it realistic, But
No, but I think this movie solidifies the fact that I'm not a big Terry Gilliam fan.
no.
It's now 4 movies, and I wasn't like a huge fan of this one, but this is definitely the best one, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So what about this movie did you not care for?
I don't know. Something about I'm not a fan of his like the way he shoots the movies, like the Dutch angles, the constant Dutch angles,
He
which
does
I
love his Dutch
which
angles.
I know,
Yeah,
which
he
I
does
know
love his Dutch
was
angles.
something like, which was something big in the '90s, anyways. But like, yeah. he
It like doesn't exist anymore.
yeah.
The Dutch angle.
That's probably what pissed me off the most about Fear and Loathing, was just how
It was shot, like
Yeah.
actually
Shot,
shot.
yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
That one's too much, dude. Honestly.
Okay, so you don't like the cinematography of it,
right.
This is
I guess. Yeah.
But what about like the actual story?
The story was
Like,
good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Did he write? No, he didn't write it.
No,
I
he
can't
did not
remember.
write this.
Right.
But I feel like the dialogue in his movies can be kind of clunky sometimes. I feel like that was probably the weakest part for me.
The
Like,
Bridges of Madison County. I heard about that.
so some of the lines are just kind of goofy
Mm-hmm.
in this movie. Like, I don't know. I can't name a specific one, but they're just like throwaway lines.
It's not on the level of God, who's that guy that you guys are obsessed over?
David Lynch.
David Lynch. Yeah, like that is clunky dialogue and just very awkward sentencing and stuff like that. And like he has his moment, like Gilliam or whatever, Terry has his moments, but definitely nowhere near like Lynchian kind of writing.
Very dreamlike though. What the two have together is that they like try to make weird dreamlike movies that don't care at all like what reality is. They're just trying to do their own fucked up LSD shit.
I love this. Yeah, I just love it because like the whole like bringing like fantastical kind of elements to a very grounded movie. I was just kind of like stuff like that. So I don't know. I was a huge fan of this movie, to be honest. I really liked it.
There's some parts where Terry Gilliam's movies kind of feel like a kid's movie, and I mean like not, I don't mean like in a derogatory word, but like with RJ was saying, like the Dutch angles and just like the weird, like bizarre, like feeling of the movies and stuff. Like it just feels like I don't know, like a kids movie for adults.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Time Bandits especially is like that, but there was some moments in this movie.
Who was Brazil for? It's Fear and Loathing is obviously for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was Brazil for?
Brazil is for nerds, I think. It's for sci-fi nerds.
Okay.
It's 1984 for kids.
Wait, but like, since you're like the bigger like Terry Gilliam fan, how would you rank the movies you've seen of him so far?
I think Brazil's the best because it's the most ambitious. There's just so fucking much going on, like all the sets and the story of it is like really cool. I thought with the bureaucracy of the government, and then this is probably second, The Fisher King.
Okay,
really good human.
Is it
human story?
Aren't you a huge Time Bandits fan?
I like it.
Okay, I was like Ahmed. No one else deserves Time Bandits.
Time Bandits is great, I will say, but it's for sure a kids movie too. It's like
every time I just hear Time Bandits, I just think about that scene from Community where Ahmed goes, and that's why I never returned my copy of Time Bandits because no one else deserves it. I don't know why. Every time I hear Time Bandits, that's all I think about.
You guys don't deserve Time Bandits, apparently.
Apparently.
No, I don't want it.
But yeah, like
don't deserve it. Don't want it.
Fear and Loathing is probably my least favorite of his thing.
For sure.
Things.
Yeah, I gotta give that one a rewatch, honestly. Yeah.
But the Monty Python movies, I'm not sure if you can include those, but those are fun. Those are absolutely amazing.
I haven't seen a single Monty Python movie. I've seen clips and a lot of them, but I haven't actually watched a movie. But I do want to watch it, especially after I found out what the plot of Life of Brian is. I thought that's exactly the type of stories I like. It's just it's such a goofy concept. And I don't know. It seems so funny to me. So I really want to watch Life of Brian.
And Terry Gilliam acts a little bit in those movies, but he was never like a member of the group that like was on camera that much. He would just cameo sometimes and just did animations.
Did he have anything to do with Spinal Tap? Because isn't Spinal
Gilliam?
Tap like?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay. Doesn't Spinal Tap have people from Monty Python or something?
Oh, I think they're all American.
Oh, never mind. I have no idea what
I think, which is a trip because their British accents are so fucking good. And Spinal Tap, Nigel Farage.
Well, this one goes to 11. I'm going through
10.
heroin withdrawals. Yeah. All right, guys. Any final thoughts on The Fisher King?
Very, very good movie. And yeah, I'd recommend it to literally anybody who'd like. You get everything. You get romance. You get blood and guts. You get homeless people. You get Robin Williams singing Broadway.
You get Niles from Frasier.
You get Niles from Frasier.
Yeah. There's a little bit of everything for somebody, man. Honestly.
You get RuPaul's Drag Race for like 2 minutes as well.
And that dude can sing, dude.
Yeah, dude. Belt it out.
RJ, anything?
No, I thought it was a fine movie. Just I probably would have liked it a lot more if it was directed by someone else.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a decent story. I think it was a little hammy, a little like emotionally manipulative at some points, but it was a good story though, and definitely good performances by Jeff Bridges and especially Robin Williams. He was this was one of my favorite Robin Williams roles now. Yeah,
Sure.
It would be up there with my like Mrs. Doubtfire's and Good Will Hunting.
Bro, we should rewatch Mrs. Doubtfire. So.
I'm down, dude. I'm always down.
It's been years since I've seen it.
Same,
honestly.
but I watched that movie so many times. Like how you're talking about, you watch Jumanji all the time. I watch Mrs. Doubtfire all the time. Robin Williams was like one of my mom's favorite actors, comedians.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember your mom talking about Robin Williams, honestly. Yeah.
Robin Williams is a classic, dude.
Again, you can't hate him, bro. You're just not allowed to.
There's some people out there, man. There's some people who figured out how to hate Chris Farley and like all these amazing people. Or who do you hate? RJ, Jim Carrey.
I would have put them in the same conversation, but
Chris Farley and
Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't put them in the same conversation.
No, Chris Farley might have actually gotten into that territory though. Like if he kept doing movies, like he was.
It's possible.
Yeah,
Shrek. Yeah, it's possible, but. I mean, I would have loved to see Chris Farley try a serious role because
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that would look like. But I mean, in reality, we never know. We can't say that. Oh yeah, he would have killed it in if he did Dead Poet Society or
Right.
something like that.
He probably would have hit a span where, he was just doing the same kind of role over and over again. Because that's how I feel about a lot of those like famous comedic actors, like Will Ferrell. I feel like once he hit a certain point, he was just doing the fucking same character over and over
he
again.
does
You
a
know,
lot of- yeah.
Semi-pro, and then Talladega Nights. Like he was doing like sports.
Well, it wasn't
This is
even
like a
just
sports
sports, but it was like
comedy,
he was
but-
playing, portraying the same character almost.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
See, I like when he broke. Yeah, because when he breaks away from it, it is a bit more notable. Because I think like, do you ever see Blades of Glory?
Sports comedy.
No,
yeah,
I
I saw
never
that
did.
one.
Yeah.
You saw Blades of Glory,
Yeah, I
right?
saw
Like
that.
he was an asshole in that movie. So which is not really a character he portrays a lot. He's
Right.
usually like the lovable goof. But in this, like, oh, he was like a funny asshole. But yeah, so it's a bit more notable when he breaks away from it. And yeah, he hasn't. I mean, but he's done some sort of serious things from time to
Stranger
time.
Than Fiction, which
Which
is
was
that-
really good.
Yeah, I never saw
actually.
it.
I watched it a long time ago, and I really liked it. But I thought he was great in it. I saw Everything Must Go, which is a pretty like real movie. It's about like an alcoholic who's got kicked out of his house and blah blah blah.
I feel like none of those comedic actors have ever hit the same level as Robin Williams of like that serious drama level, you know?
But
Like even Adam Sandler with Uncut Gems is good, but it's not as like
Punch Drunk
depth.
Love, too.
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch
Yeah.
Drunk Love. They're really good, but there's not like Robin Williams is just so magnificent, like with his eyes and stuff.
But see, yeah, but then, well,
Such a different league.
he was like a comedian for like a minute, but I mean, Tom Hanks, he literally started off as a comedic actor, and then
a lot of
actors.
actors did that.
Yeah, but like he was real. I mean, he tried to be a stand-up
Yeah.
too, and yeah. So I mean, there's a lot.
Man.
There's him, dude. Fucking
Michael Keaton tried to start as a stand-up comedian.
Bob Odenkirk has been just nailing it. I mean, him as like Saul Goodman. Holy shit! If you watch Better Call Saul, yeah, dude. Again, going from comedy to like serious has been done, but some people just really nail it. On the level of Robin Williams, I mean, I guess you could argue if someone has or hasn't. I think people have, honestly, but yeah, man, it's something special. Like comedic actors are always going to be more impressive than dramatic actors, honestly.
This movie gives you both spectrums of Robin Williams, the wacky and like the serious,
Yeah,
brave Robin Williams.
yeah, the role was really made for him, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, check it out.
Yep.
And,
All right,
and if you're gonna watch any Terry Gilliam movie, this is the one that's like I feel like the most all-encompassing, like
oh, for sure, yeah,
most broad appeal.
yeah.
probably.
Brazil might be a tough watch for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you just like really grand spectacles and very impressive set designs and stuff like that. Yeah, but Brazil might be a rough watch for a lot of people.
Mm.
But yeah, I this would definitely be the number one recommended Terry Gilliam movie for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
RJ, you agree?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. if you had to pick one gun,
Yeah,
to
I had
head,
to pick one. Yeah, I want to watch 12 Monkeys.
right? Brad Pitt. and
That's like the
George
last
Clooney?
one. No, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen that. I remember they played it on FX, I think, all the time, or Sci-Fi Channel.
Probably sci-fi.
Yeah.
I know there was a sci-fi series like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was 12 Monkeys.
That's
Like
true.
time traveling or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't fully know it either.
Oh,
But-
that'd be the last one I think to really check out because all those other ones are pretty like forgettable. He did like the Who Killed Don,
Don
Quixote,
Quixote.
or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of those like legendary projects that he was trying to do for like 30 years and just never got done. But then it got done and it sucked. And, like Adam Driver was in it.
I was about to say it. Oh,
Like Megalopolis.
yeah, I was about to say
Like
like
Adam Driver.
Megalopolis. Then. Yeah, it's like the director finally got his passion project and
Exact same story
yeah.
basically.
Dude, wait, when that comes to streaming, are we gonna watch that?
Megalopolis?
Yeah.
I'd be down.
You guys can count me out of that one.
I
to the
honestly, I just want to
club.
see why it's so mid or whatever. I heard it's from bad to mid. Like no one's calling it great.
Yeah, no one has.
Yeah,
I'm more interested to see Joker 2, honestly.
I'd watch that one.
Good, bad one.
yeah. I was going to watch that one until I just heard everyone just absolutely shitting on it. So now I'm definitely just waiting until it comes out in theaters. I mean, streaming.
Then Tarantino came out and was like, actually, and I was like, maybe you're right.
Did he
Mr.
say like?
Tarantino.
something like I knew what he was trying to do or something like that.
He said that
It's just-
Todd Phillips was the Joker when he made the movie because he took the studio's money, he took the fans' money, he took everybody's money, and just said "fuck you" and burned it all. Which is like, all right, so he made a bad movie.
Bro, that's the Joker.
Is what you're saying.
That's the Joker from the Dark Knight when he sets
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
monsters'
Basically.
money on fire. He's like, it's not about the money; it's about sending
About
a
the
message. Yeah.
Yeah, basically that was his opinion of it. But it's like you could just say he made a bad movie. You don't have to like
Yeah.
go really deep into like
But I guess
burning.
you can call it earnest. All right, guys, that has been another episode of 3 Hacks in a Movie. I'm Emilio.
Manly.
And I'm RJ.
All right, have a good night, y'all.